Welcome back. In today's class, our focus is to clarify anything that is causing trouble to students. Our focus was on stem plot, box plot. So the past paper questions that we have tried earlier on, these are the queries that came, and we need to discuss those queries and sort it out. Now, most of the queries were basically about how to draw the stem plot. Basically, it was about choosing the key. Let's look at the first question. Question 57, June 2007, paper 6, question 4. The length of time in minutes to swim a certain distance by members of a class of 12 9-year-olds and by a member of a class of 8 16-year-old are given below. That means this is the age 9-year. So the 9-year category that has 12 students, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's not arranged in ascending order, so you have to take the pen and arrange it in ascending order. And then it's about 16 years old, that's this line, and there are 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, of course, the ascending order part, that's not a study. People find it difficult to think about the key. For example, if I focus on the value 13.0, so I'll write this thing as 13 and a 0, and the key would be 13/0 means 13.0. So basically that bar is replaced by a decimal point. Similarly, 16.1, that is 16/1. What does it mean? That means 16.1. So basically, you have a bar in the middle, something like this. And then this would be the stem. You can draw the 9-year-olds or the 16 years on the left and vice versa, because the examiner has not given us what should go where. And the stem could be starting from 11, I see 12. I think 11 is the shortest one, smallest one. So therefore, this is like 11 and then 12 and then 13 and then 14 and 15 and 16 and so on till whichever value it goes. So that's how it looks like. 9 on the right, 16 on the skin. That's the first thing. You have 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are some bars which are empty. This is empty, this is empty, this is empty. No need to write anything. Now the examiner has not written the number in the brackets. I think I should write it. This is 4. And over here, this is 2, this is 2, this is 2, this is 1, and the last one is 1. And instead of writing a single key, I can write it separately. 16/4 means 16.4. This is for the 9-year-old. And for the 16-year-old, I can write 14, 8/14, because it's written like this, but read it the other way. 8/14 means 14. And what else is it asking? It's asking a new people joined the 16-year-old class and swam the distance. The mean time for the class of 9 people was now 13.6. Find the new people time. That's too easy. That's too easy. We know that the sum of 8 people is 106.8. And we remember this formula. X bar is sigma x over n. That means if I multiply x bar with n, I get sigma x. So I calculate sigma x for 9 people. That is 122.4. The difference between 106.8 and 122.4, this difference is 15.6 minutes. That is the time taken for the new person that joined the class. Okay, that was question 57, pretty straightforward. Question 64. The marks of people in a certain class in history exam are as follows. The marks of people in physics exams are summarized. Now, this is the original data. This is the original data for history. And this is the summarized 5-point info. This can be used to draw a box plot for what? for the subject physics. What does it say? Draw a box and whisker plot in a single diagram on graph paper to illustrate the marks for history. That means if I choose the graph paper, I can have a box, just a rough idea. I can have a line at the bottom, something like this. This is like the scale. And there could be a box like this at the top. Box with the exact values, with the whiskers and everything. And then a box for the other piece of info, something like this. I'm just drawing a rough diagram. I know you can draw it exactly. So this could be for physics, and this could be for history. That's how you draw it. That means, first of all, they are not asking us to draw the stem and leaf diagram for history. So that is not necessary. So what you will do is that you can just calculate the lower quartile, the median, and the upper quartile. The lowest and the highest value is self-evident. So that's it. And then it says state one difference which can be seen from the diagram, between the marks for history and physics. Now let's look at the answer. One thing is this: for physics, this is the box. And for history, this is the box. So one thing you can see is that the most obvious thing, that is the spread, because it's the same scale. This is Q1, this is Q3, this is Q1, this is Q3. Always write whichever is the easiest to explain. So you would say the interquartile range of physics is greater than interquartile range for history. That is the thing that you see, but don't write what exactly do you see. Write in the context of this question. Interquartile range is a measure of dispersion, measure of variability of the data. That means you say the spread of marks in the physics subject is more as compared to the spread of marks in the history exam. Now, it's the same class. It's the same class. So that means their performance in physics is more spread out. Students' performance in the subject of physics is more spread out compared to the corresponding performance in history. It's not a matter of right or wrong. It's a matter of variability. Okay, now let's look at this question. Question 65. The lengths of diagonal in meters of the 9 most popular flat screen TV and 9 most popular conventional TV are as shown. Represent this information on a back-to-back stem plot. Find the median and interquartile range for the conventional. Find the mean and standard deviation for the flat screen. So basically, the first thing is a stem and leaf diagram, which is back-to-back. So this is the stem. You don't have to write that this is the stem. That's how it is. This is 6, 7, 8. There is no 9 and there is 10. I think 9 is missing. This is the 9. And what is the key? The key is, for example, 8/4 for conventional. What does it mean? It means 0.84 meters. So that means 0.84 meters. And for the other one, 5/8. Yeah, let me choose something else. 6/7. So 6/7 means 0.76 meters. This is for flat screen. And what else is it asking? The other things are pretty basic. Find the median and interquartile range without drawing a stem and leaf diagram. Of course, you know how to get it from the raw data. And find the mean and standard deviation. That is simple. First do sigma x, then do sigma x square. Then x bar is sigma x over n. And standard deviation, first write the variance. That is sigma x square over n minus x bar square. And then you can take the under root at the variant. So that is question number 65. Okay, question number 68. Let's first look at it. What is different in this one? Stem and leaf as usual. They're asking us to find the lower quartile, and 3 different caravans in the showroom are chosen at random and the prices are noted. Find the probability 2 of these prices are more than median and 1 is less than lower quartile. Now, a very clever question. They are asking about probability based upon the information given. Now, how many values are there? There are 11 values. And we know that 11 divided by 2 is 5.5. Round it up, that means the 6th value is the median value. Correct? So therefore, the 6th is the median. And then you have T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, 5 values below the median. And you have 5 values above the median. So you have T7, T8, T9, T10, and T11. That means, now let's focus on the working. How many values are below? 5. How many values are above? 5. That is why it's the median. It's the value in the middle. Now, what will be the lower quartile? Whatever the value is, this would be the lower quartile because it would be the median of the smaller set of numbers. And upper quartile is, it would be the median of the bigger set of numbers. Agreed? That means lesser than lower quartile are 2 values. And greater than upper quartile are 2 values. Let me just write this piece of info. So Q1 less is 2 and greater would be 1, 2, 3 are left, 8. And greater would be 8. Double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Similarly, for upper quartile, it will be the exact opposite. Greater would be 2 values and lesser would be 8 values. Okay, now 3 different caravans in the showroom are chosen at random and the prices are noted. Find the probability that 2 of these prices are more than the median and 1 is less than lower quartile. Now I have refined that question and I'm simply focusing on what is being asked. More than median, 5 values. Less than median, 2 values. Now there are 2 ways of working this out. One is the method of using probability with a sprinkle of permutation, and the other one is the concept of combination. Let's have a look. 5 values are more than median and 2 values are lesser than lower quartile. How many caravans are there altogether? 11. Common sense tells you that it's a question of without replacement. So back to probability, focus on the denominator. The denominator is 11 for the first one because you're choosing out of 11. Since 1 is chosen, 10 are left. So now choose out of 10. Again, 1 is chosen, now 9 are left. Numerator, 5 for the number of caravans having a value greater than median. Out of those 5, 1 is chosen, so 4 are left. And then 2 corresponds to what? 2 corresponds to the number of caravans having a price lesser than the lower quartile. Focus on it again. There are 11 caravans, so the denominator without replacement would become 11, 10, 9. That is pretty obvious. You will get a mark for that. For the numerator, the purple belongs to the median value. There were 5 values above median. Since one of them is chosen, out of those 5, 1 is chosen, 4 are left. Out of 4 is to be chosen. And there were 2 caravans having a value lesser than the lower quartile, so 2 would be there. Is this question done? It is probability with a sprinkle of permutation. That means take care of the order. It could be median, median, quartile. It could be median, quartile, median. It could be quartile, median, median. That means there are 3 possibilities. So don't forget to multiply by 3. That means if you were to draw this on a tree diagram, there will be 3 combinations of this. So that is why this 3 is taken into consideration. Now let's look to the easy method. That easy method is method number 2. That method says that you have to work in terms of combination. Don't worry about the order. because the numerator and the denominator balances us all out. So now out of 11 caravans, how many are you choosing? You're choosing 3. That goes down in the denominator. Now there are 2 categories. One is the category of more than 5. So out of those, you are choosing 2. Category of lesser than lower quartile. There are 2 of them and you are choosing 1. So what's the answer? 5C2 into 2C1. That goes in the numerator and 11C3 goes in the denominator. So whichever method you feel like doing, you can do it. In the probability method, you can actually see the number happening. The denominator is decreasing, realizing the fact that it's a question of without replacement. 5 and 4 belongs to greater than median. 2 belongs to lesser than lower quartile. And the other method, that is easy. Also, 11, and one more thing, don't forget to multiply by 3 because the order does matter in probability. Whereas in the combination method, 11C3, that refers to without choosing 3, without any condition, without restriction. 5C2, out of those 5, you are choosing 2. Out of those 2, you are choosing 1. So that was a tricky part of probability that just sneaked in a stem and leaf diagram and a box plot question. Okay, Ji. This was just calculation of median and quartiles. That was pretty obvious. And in this question, somebody asked this question. It's about the annual salaries of a group of 39 females and 39 males. Find the median and quartile of the female salaries. You are given that the median salary of male is this much. Lower quartile and upper quartile is this much. Represent the data by means of a box and whisker plot. I think that is pretty straightforward. Now, if somebody were to ask about this, that write down 2 conclusions or 3 conclusions, something like this. So what would I say? Now, this one is pretty symmetric. And this one is positively skewed. That is the first thing that I notice. This area is definitely greater than this dot area. And this area and the left area is almost equal. This is almost symmetric. I can write the word almost. What else? What else is there? The median salary. This is the median salary for female. This is the median salary for male. This is Q for female and this is Q for male. The Q for female is lesser than Q for male. This is Q2, that is. That means generally, on average, females are getting lower salary in a company as compared to male. Because remember the word median. Median means typical or average value. Now, what else is there? The thing is about the interquartile range. The interquartile range is a measure of dispersion. Of course, you can calculate it and you can say which one has a greater interquartile range. There is more variability in those salaries. So that thing is done. And what about this question? This is the last one. The following back-to-back stem and leaf diagram shows the times to load an application on 61 smartphones. So type A, 43 of type B, find the median and quartile. Another piece of info is given, box and whisker plot. Compare the loading time of the 2 types of smartphone. So there is smartphone A and smartphone B. So median for A should be known. Median for B should be known. For example, without looking at the values, if the median for A is smaller than median for B, these are the times. That means phone A is sharper. It's smarter. It's actually a smartphone. It's faster. If the time for A is lesser than time for B, therefore A is a faster phone. We are not talking about any other feature of the smartphone. We are just talking about the time, and that usually translate into smartness and speed. If it's the other way around, time of A is greater than time of B, therefore B is a faster phone. Now let's see what does it say. Median for A is 0.52 and median for B is given, that's 0.46. So median for A is 0.52 and median for B is 0.46. Therefore, I can say with 100% confidence that B is a quick and a faster phone. And what else? What else can I say? I can talk about compare the loading times. If this is 1 mark, then median is enough. If it's 1 plus 1, 2 marks, then I can talk about the median also. I can talk about the interquartile range also. This is A, this is B. We see that it's on the same scale. Of course, it should be done on graph paper. This is interquartile range of A, this is interquartile range of B between this value, this value, this value, this value. So there is more spread and more variability in the loading times of A. More spread, more variability in the loading time of A as compared to B. So that finishes this part, which is about the review of stem plot and box plot. And finally, we were able to finish it off. So now what we're going to do in the next lecture, we will start with the concept of histogram.